Great Debaters Contest is brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.
Great and loud from the Kisumu region. This is the Great Debaters Contest. I'm Austin Nyombo.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Today we have a battle of the sexes for you. Kisumu Day goes versus St. Teresa's girls, and they're debating on whether gender equality is an ideal that can never be achieved. The first proposer take the stage. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Pauline Adhiambo from St. Teresa's Girls. I'm proposing the motion that says gender equality is an ideal that can never be achieved. Equality, this is the essential of one getting equal treatment and equal measures, either he or she is a man or a woman. In Africa, we as Africa, we have 57 countries. And in all these countries, we only have one that is having a female as the leader. This is Liberia, where the president is Helen Johnson Sirleaf. This gives a clear idea that in our Africa, they only believe that men are there naturally to be leaders, while women cannot act as leaders. This is why we have only Liberia as the country that has a female president. The stereotype. We have social mentality that women cannot be there to be heard. Even in this leadership, the elders in our society are more especially given the priority of being men. The boys are believed to be survivors. In the boarding schools where we have girls, they're given even the secondary ones that are not even necessary. Like here, some of these girls have applied sprays, ponds that are not even necessary, but to the boys, they're only given the basic needs that they want for them to survive in schools. It is believed that some jobs are naturally made to be performed by either men or women. When you get a man performing nursing or doing cosmetics, it will be taken as an ironical thing. Yet they have that opportunity and that attitude of performing it, whether he is a man. I like to arrest my case by saying that attitude is what brings up our feelings. Let us build that attitude in us, because the attitude is what determines your personality, not your aptitude. And let us build our altitude. Thank you.
Opposers, you have 3 minutes for your opening statements.
Thank you very much. My name is Alan Stewart from Kisumu High School. Gender equality is an ideal that can never be achieved. That is the motion we're discussing today, and we are strongly opposing the motion. Gender equality, also known as sex equality, is the view that men and women should receive equal treatment and should not be discriminated against gender. My first point is, gender equality not only gives women inalienable rights, but it benefits humanity as a whole. When most people think of gender equality, they envision women's movement. It makes sense, women's operation. However, gender equality is only socially and economically beneficial for men. This can be achieved as the government is now forming many organizations that can fight against against gender equality. My final point, mediocrity has never become a sufficient force for fulfillment, especially when you are out to serve an idea. For example, Wangari Maathai, being a woman, won the first Nobel Peace Prize. Why could the men not win? And this brought change, despite all the fact that ladies were degraded in the past. Thank you.
We'll now hear rebuttals. Proposers, you have 3 minutes.
Gender equality is an ideal that can be achieved. Okay, I can say that when we look at the job opportunities, we find that the ladies or the girls stand the first priority in getting their jobs or in their professions, because we find that this is because ladies are believed to be more responsible than men. For instance, let us give an example like for the kitchen attendants. You can see that when a man comes to search for the same job and then a lady comes for the same job, the lady tends to get the job at the first priority than the man. This is because she's believed to be that she's responsible. Another thing is about the beliefs of the personal beliefs. Ladies or girls believe that some jobs are like for men only. they believe that they cannot make it in some jobs like bricklaying, we can say about the woodwork, and then the engineering sort of things. You see that the girls feel like doing bricklaying can be an embarrassment, and then doing mining and you're a lady, you can feel like it is like an embarrassment. Then I can say that parents believe that boys are more smart than ladies in academic. You see that in the cut-off line of points to the university, you get that the boys are being taken at the cut-off of 60, and then the ladies are being taken at the cut-off 58. That is a belief that boys are more smart than girls. And then on to my last point, the colonials had already put it in our minds at first, saying that the men, they put it into our mind that men are stronger compared to ladies, in that they took men to be slaves, like they took the men to be fighting for them, doing the hard works for them, like building works, construction of their projects, digging in the farms, and then the ladies were specifically taking like the wives of people. Their work was to wash the houses where the colonial stayed, and then they used to do the soft jobs that we do understand. By this, I can support that gender equality is an ideal that can be achieved and that can never be achieved. In this, every man has an ability, and the ability comes from the capability of a person. Thank you.
Opposers, time for a rebuttal. You also have 3 minutes.
My name is Byron Odhiambo from Kisumu High School. First, I'd like to tell you that it really pains me a lot to see a very beautiful lady from that side coming here and telling us that gender equality is an ideal that can never be achieved. At such a time when our country we are struggling to put more women in the National Assembly, and we are coming here to say that gender inequality. Thank you. I want to surely tell you that when we are provided such opportunities, when we are on the other side and they are on this other side, is that not gender equality? As if that is not enough, I sat for my KCSE examination in 2012. When I sat for my KCSE examination, the science subject was being tested, maths was being tested, and I never saw where girls were being taken to do their own subjects there and boys do their own subjects there. Is that not gender equality? As if that is not enough, they are again coming and telling us that the ministries are meant for men. Let me tell you one clear example. My cabinet secretary is of the choice, Anne Waiguru. Anne Waiguru is indeed serving in her ministry the way she should be. And look at our foreign affairs, the way they are being conducted. Now security is being enhanced in our country. Our country is enhancing security because we are creating a favorable policy with other countries. And I want to tell you that gender equality is an ideal that can be achieved. And can be achieved if we all play our part to bring up gender equality. And I like to tell my opponents that please cross the floor and join us, bring gender equality to this country. Thank you.
Save self with faster. I borrowed a loan from Mshwari. Man, I'm so broke. Went to a paper, they give me time. Save with faster. Save.
Take part in the M Challenge by sending your short song, rap, or poem about Safaricom M-Pesa on WhatsApp, and you could win 1,000 shillings in Safaricom airtime.
Questions have been posed to the two teams on stage. They will be responding shortly. The proposers have been asked, if we say that men are the head of the household, then how do we therefore say that women are more responsible than men? And the opposition have been asked, how come female presidential candidates haven't prospered in the past, yet they say that gender equality can be achieved? We'll have them respond to the questions now. Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes.
To answer your question, that's why we are emphasizing that gender equality is an ideal that can never be achieved. That's why you find that in most of our family household, men are the ones that lead over the women. On to my first point, men are believed to be breadwinners even if a woman earns more. It is a saying in Mombasa among the Mijikenda women that mshahara wangu ni wangu, wa mume wangu ni yetu sisi wote. Is that true? If we have caused people who are among us, I think it is true. And also this has been emphasized with most of our singers that mshahara ya mwanamke ni ya mwanamke na ya mwanamume ni yetu sisi sote. My second point, women are the enemies of their own. One of our opponents was saying that the cabinet assembly has now equalized by giving women chance to lead us. But has that been equalized? Looking at the government, is it an equal number? We have women and men equally in the assembly. That is not true. That's why we are saying that gender equality can never be achieved. Biblically also, according to Christians, they emphasize that women are subordinate to the man. Looking at Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22, it tells us that women, you must be subordinate to the man. And this has really made us women to look down upon ourselves that we cannot lead. Or is that so? I think it is so. And then African setup. Going back to your question, African setup, they believe that men, they are the ones to rule, while women, we are the ones to follow. And remember, we have been living with this quote that let your past be your experience to determine your present and your future. So that has made it that gender equality can never be achieved in this country. And I'm emphasizing, never, never, it can never be achieved. And if our opponent, you're backing us on this, I believe it can never be achieved. And emphasizing again, it can never be achieved.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
My name is Brano Jungo from Kisumu High School. Just to start, I would just like, this is just a kind request, just to remind you of what we mean by the term unity. I hope we are not wrong if we say that unity is strength. And I believe that if we are united, then we can make even mountains out of handhills. And that's why we are saying, we are supporting this motion that gender equality can be introduced to our country. Just to answer your question, which was about why is it that Martha Karua, when she vied for the presidency, she was not elected. First thing which you must know is that in our country, we have democracy. Democracy is a government for the people, by the people. So when she was elected, it was not the wish of the people. Maybe they did not see some good leadership qualities in her that made them not to elect her, but to elect the other person. And just to add some points on the motion, I would just like to tell you that gender equality can be achieved and has been always achieved. Let's take, for example, the penalties which are being given to people at the courts of laws. These people don't look that you are a woman or a man, you are a boy or a girl, for them to jail you for life because of murder. And another thing is when the government is giving bursaries, I hope you have brothers, sisters, and even those people who are coming around your home who are sponsored by the government. They never look at whether she's a girl or a boy for them to give her or hit the bursary. And on another thing, I would just like to ask you that is it really good if your brother, your sister, your mother, or your grandmother, or even your grandfather will be discriminated by someone because of his or her gender? So as I finish, I would just like to request you to answer that question, maybe just food for thought. Thank you.
We'll now hear closing submissions. Proposers, you have 1 minute.
We have been talking about equality. Equality refers to ensuring that all of us, men and women, get equal chances in everything that we do. But we are saying, according to our team, we are saying that this thing, equality, it can never, never be achieved. Traditionally, men used to batter women. But nowadays, the Nyeri women are proving to us that men can be battered by women. And is that equality that we want? I'm asking again, is that the equality that we are talking about that it can be achieved? back to everything to conclude everything. Gender equality is an ideal that can never, never, never be achieved. Thank you.
Opposition, you also have a minute for your final submission.
I don't want to propose this, but only to advise my fellow, because I now know that by the time I'm standing here, they are now in the process of changing their minds and making these ideals be achieved. We hereby stand firm to stop the misconception that people have against women leadership. People have mistaken female empowerment to be like male disempowerment. Well, this should not be the case. We also have a belief, my fellow members talking about the gender beliefs. Such cultures are what are hindering us from achieving our mission of gender equality. So why should we talk about them? Yet we need gender equality. To my surprise, women are the ones against this. So what do you want to hear to the people who are biased? What are they saying?
Juliet, I think you're very passionate. You know, you want things done. In fact, you're asking yourself, why are these people not getting what I'm trying to talk about? You know, you come to the stage and we can tell that you are there. Just a little bit of organizing yourself. And once you get the mastery of the topic very well, I think you can make a very great debate. That's not to say that the rest of the team members are not. You're also great speakers. And I think now, combined effort, you can make a great team. Also to the other side as well, I want to address Pyron. You really stood out. You know, for Alan, you read a lot at the beginning. I admired the last submissions you come to give, you know, because they were free. You know, you come and speak as yourself. And like the first time when you came and read almost all the time and then you disappeared at the second minute. Brian, you know, you can create a better presence of yourself. That means you're a speaker, right? But now you can actually, with practice, make a better speaker. But to Pyron, I think it was very evident. The audience itself was evident to this. You know, you come and you engage them. You come and ask questions of relevant examples about gender equality, you know. So you're a good speaker and a good orator. And I think with that freedom of speaking your mind out with facts, you can make a great speaker event for this nation. All the best to the two teams.
My concern is that on several occasions when we talk about this, it has always been equated to women. But gender equality also involves men. And there are areas or instances where women are the ones that are doing better than men. And in those instances, then the men also have to be uplifted. And so in tackling such a motion, let us move away. Let's desist from looking at it just as one side of the gender, but looking at it across board, that both men and women are involved in this debate. When we debate about gender, this is a sensitive issue, but let's also be sensitive to the fact that we are also pointing areas where the male gender would also need to come to that point where there are areas where they are lagging behind, that there would then be equality as well. Thank you.
The judges awarded St. Teresa with 60%. Please give them a round of applause. Kisumu Day, the judges saw it fit to award you 68%. You are our winners for the debate.
Congratulations to Kisumu Day. We'd like to thank all of you for tuning in and watching the show. And of course, we'd like to thank Safaricom M-Pesa and KBC Channel 1. Do remember to follow us on Twitter @GreatDebatersEA. I have been your host, Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Nyambok. Catch you next time.
The Great Debaters Contest was brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.